Hello, my delicious co-creators. Lilou here at the beautiful Dao Garden, all the way north of Thailand, actually, near Chiang Mai. And this is a very special place. You actually you spend quite a lot of time here, Sarina. Last time we met at, was it in Santa Monica?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
You were close. Not really. Northern
California.
Yeah.
For a European.
For sure. California is good enough.
So today, last time we spoke about sexual energy, and this was definitely a powerful video that went around the internet. And today, this is a special focus on the Nei Tsang. You're going to tell us what it is and how it can help us release so that we can be this sexual, amazing goddess and gods, because we are truly, right?
God and goddess. For sure. Yeah, and, one of the things I noticed, some of your watchers contacted me, and they're actually quite well aware of their sexual energy, and they had a lot of questions. So I thought it would be really nice if we could talk today about things a person can do for themselves to get that sexual energy healthy and flowing. Yeah. I do have some things to say about that.
Yeah. What is preventing us then from? Is there some chi blockages, right? Because you're all about that.
Yes. My experience and the experience of my colleagues is that being that we are energetic creatures, and you know that, and your audience, of course, knows that, when we have negative emotions for an extended period of time, that emotional energy vibrates at a low frequency because it's negative. It's ugly. Maybe we feel unattractive. Maybe we were rejected. Maybe you had a bad intimate experience. And if the vibration stays in the body long enough and vibrates low enough, it becomes a solid. And that little tiny particle of solid matter can get stuck in the tissue. So as practitioners of Nei Tsang abdominal massage, we find around the groin area and the lower abdominal, if a person has stuck sexual energy, and it's usually negative, okay? I mean, positive sexual energy is all light and it just flows, okay? So we find that you're actually dealing with a physical issue. And they can press on the lower abdominal, press in the groin, or the upper thighs as well, and actually find hard, painful tissue. It's real. And the more stuck the person becomes, the less pleasurable it is to have sex, because it's just not flowing. It also disconnects the sexual organs from the heart. It's almost like the body builds a physical wall between the reproductive organs and the physical heart. And as we spoke of last time, there's a connection here. If you can't connect the heart to your sexuality, all these Taoist practices, even Tantra, everybody, it doesn't work. You've got to open the heart, connect. But when you have a bad experience, it's very normal to build a wall. Well, sometimes the wall is in the chest, but sometimes it's in the groin.
Yeah, so ideally you want what is the ideal situation here with our body daily?
Ideally, you want free belly, meaning no rotting food in the intestines. We don't want full intestines pressing right against the uterus for ladies, pressing against the bladder in guys, if they become very constipated. That's a lot of poison going out through the lining of the intestine, and it just goes, it's right next to your reproductive organs. So we want to stay clean. We also want to stay supple. That's the word. I don't know this word in French.
I don't know either.
But it's, like the rubber band, to be flexible, soft, not weak. That's different. But flexible. The tissue should not be hard and painful in the lower abdominal, hips, and upper thighs. When you are physically free in the intestine and the tissue, muscle, and tendon, then the energy is free to flow.
Last time we spoke about orgasm and how actually you redistribute the orgasm and men don't really ejaculate. I had a bit of that conversation with Monk Tashia, and I want to just welcome you to check that video too, because this was very powerful. This is your teacher, this is your master, right?
Yeah. Yes, Master Chia has been supervising my education for over 20 years now. And he's the guy. I'm sure that was a great interview.
Yeah. So this orgasm, so you want to not just orgasm for the pleasure of it, and here actually we're even talking of different type of orgasm, not the genitals orgasm, but the full tell us about that full thing, what it looks like.
Okay. All right. The full body orgasm, first of all, can only be attained if you're open. Okay? So I hope we go back to that.
Open to...
I mean physically open. Okay, if you have hard tissue, and I'm kind of around here in Del Garden, I'm one of the people you talk to for the physical work. Okay, because I believe that we need to eat good food and sometimes take massage, colonic, whatever you need to get physically like the rubber band, soft, not weak. Okay, so if the body is open, if the heart is free.
That's a big work, too.
That's huge. It's huge. So we trained for a long time to do this thing that Master Chia talks about, like, oh, anybody can do this. Sure, anybody who's physically fit and emotionally free. It is our birthright to reverse the flow of the orgasm. Now, an orgasm, and again, I'm physical, so bear with me. It doesn't sound very spiritual, but I hope that this proves that all of you can explore what we're talking about here, this kind of sexuality. Okay, so let's say we're talking about a man and his instinct, his biological instinct to reproduce says send the semen out, and the energy of the orgasmic contraction. Okay? I'm not a guy, but from what I've seen, it's a lot of energy because once they expel it, they go to sleep. Okay? It builds, it's so high, so much passion, boom. But what if you could reverse that and bring it inside the body? Furthermore, what if you could use your mind and guide the chi, or guide the energy of the orgasm? Now, it's been around for over 5,000 years, and there are tens of thousands of people around the world doing this today. So this isn't a metaphor or something you cannot accomplish. It is just something that you need to train. So Master Chia named the practice Healing Love, because that's exactly what it is. If you are open enough to be able to have this experience and bring your energy inside, okay, that's the love part, open, then you can guide a very powerful vibration anywhere you want. You are having liver problems, bring it to the liver, heal yourself. You're having kidney, bone, it doesn't matter. I was using it for my skin for a very long time, okay? And now I go to a dermatologist, but
Yeah, Sarina is 50. No, everything is okay here. Everybody, there's a fountain of hue, so maybe it's the one just behind us. Yeah.
Yes, I swim in it at 2 a.m. But no, okay, so that's an interesting conversation. I will be 50 in a couple of months, and you can tell by looking at my body and my face. I was probably about 37 or 38 when I was ready to do healing love practice. It's a long conversation. What does it take for each person to be open and feel safe? There's no one answer. For me, it was a good 7 or 8 years of balancing work till I got to a place where I knew I was ready. I was ready to do this. So I was about 37, 38, and I'm telling you, it doesn't completely stop the clock, but boy, does it slow it down. Yeah. I look at other women my age that don't retain their sexual energy and don't consciously use it. Some of them they're very lovely and they look young if they are happy. Yeah. If they are happy, they have the same result that I have. Yeah. Love just does that. Love of your children, your life, and then there's everybody else. Yeah.
So it's not because you redistribute that you miss a part of the pleasure of the orgasm.
You got to be kidding me. Who doesn't want to have multiple orgasms? Yeah. Because if you don't send the energy out and exhaust yourself, this is for women less than men, because women have one orgasm and then they're just getting going. Okay? But I've met plenty of women that have very hard orgasms, and then when they're finished, they wish their lover would be finished too. Okay, so that shows us that they are depleting their energy having an orgasm. If in the Tao way, you have your orgasm, but it is sent inside the body and circulated. Sometimes you rest it in, an organ. Sometimes you rest it in your belly. But what you don't do is leave it in your sexual organs. And what you don't do is send it out. So you do that once with your partner, and then maybe take a little break, but still be together. Well, then you can do it again. And then take a break and do it again and again. And if you're the man and the woman, as you said, God and Goddess, they are doing the same thing together. They're connected. You can feel your partner raise the energy, hold it in the body, and you share it with each other. You have this few minutes of just sharing energy. Yeah. There's so many formulas for this.
And how about if you're single too? Because I guess masturbation is...
Well, we call that single cultivation. It's the same, I suppose. But, with single cultivation, the Tao way, it's not just masturbation, thinking about... I don't even want to say a movie star's name because people will see me say it. But, thinking about a hot guy or a hot girl. And then you send the energy out to a total stranger, or wishing you could be with this one person, and send the energy to them. Because this is how it works. The energy will go where you send it. So in single cultivation, the energy stays inside and is circulated and refined and cleaned and made lighter. So that maybe in a few months, the mind will be more at peace. We master ourselves first. And when we feel self-assured and confident, we are attractive to a different kind of person, maybe someone more healthy. So maybe we won't be single too long. It does open up some doors in that way. There's no right or wrong. Many people in the Tao system will choose to be single for many years because the more practice they do, the more they learn about themselves, and they just want to bring something nice.
And realistically, there is not that many. I mean, there's a lot of people that practice the Tao, but that's another. It seems like it's another additional, not just spiritual, but now we're tapping in a even smaller niche.
Well, gosh, you just said the one thing that everybody who practices this Tao sexual energy work, we are all very aware. There's sort of a small group that you can share yourself with if you both want to be doing practice already. I will say this. We have senior instructors here who have husbands or wives or life partners that know nothing about Tao. It just takes one of you to know the practices and be kind and share, move the energy for both of you.
Yeah. It's a little slow, no? Some people that are a little bit impatient. It takes time. It takes hours. I hear hours. Hours. They just do it for hours and hours. I mean, it's crazy. These guys are wild.
It'll be like it's the most amusing few hours you'll ever spend. Because every time let's say you're a couple, okay? And you, like I said, you raise the energy together, circulate it, share it, take a break, and then do it again. Every time you do it again, I didn't make this up. This is just the way that we have experienced it. The energy gets higher. So you have a different experience. What will you see? What will you feel? Will you vibrate? Will you go through the cosmos together? We used to say with Master Chia's firstborn, Max, that he and his wife went up to the universe and chose Max, because that was our perception of what it must be like to do such deep, loving practice with another person who also had self-mastery. So, I don't know.
But it's interesting that you said it at least it takes one person. It doesn't have to be two. The other person has to be open.
Well, you have to master yourself first, okay? I mean, you should. Master yourself. no matter what we're talking about, but it's for sure what the healing love practice is. And then sharing with another person. I mean, love is love, Lilou. So when I see other people with someone who doesn't do practice, I know if they are in love, they're having a very deep connection and a very healthy experience anyways. Mm-hmm. If you look at a man after he's had disconnected sex, right? He has a certain look. That same guy, after he has sex with someone he's in love with, mm-hmm. he's like captain of the world. He doesn't have that same look, as the man who just, had an experience where he shared his body, but not his mind or his heart. Mm-hmm. So healing love can happen quite spontaneously as well. I mean, that's sort of where it came from. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, if you really want to master the techniques, and again, my area is physical, so I'm happy to talk about good sex, but I'm really interested in health and longevity. Mm. And what can you do with this energy by yourself or as a couple, to stay healthy and live for a long time? Mm. That being said, to train the techniques this could take some time because there's many, many steps. Yeah. In the end, it all becomes spontaneous.
Is there some things that you can teach us that we can start practicing or doing daily that you talked earlier about the Nei Tsang or doing it to ourselves or softening the tissues or this breathing, this loop breathing kind of thing?
Well, let's start with the breathing. We had discussed the other day what an anxiety attack is, a panic attack, when this diaphragm muscle between your lungs and your heart that separates the lungs and heart from the stomach and the liver and gallbladder. There's this big muscle that comes across. When that muscle gets tight because we have stress, it literally squeezes your aorta, the biggest artery that you have, and then the heart has to beat a lot faster and harder to get the blood through the body. And then, of course, with this muscle pulling up, it's also going to inhibit how much oxygen you can get into your lungs. Now, okay, long explanation for a short breath exercise. Okay, when you inhale and push the stomach out, and you can't see it with this shirt, but that is what I'm doing. What happens is you're pushing the diaphragm muscle down and forcing it to stretch. And if you could just keep stretching that muscle for a few minutes every day, you can help to prevent this from getting tight. Mm-hmm. Now, having a panic attack is not sexy, and it doesn't make you feel like being intimate with anybody, okay? So there is a connection. In order to feel like being intimate with yourself or another person, again, there's a level of emotional freedom. The heart should not be squeezed by the muscle, okay? It's all connected, holistic, we say, right? So if you spend 3 minutes in the morning and 3 minutes in the evening, just smile, inhale, and push the stomach out. And smile and exhale and relax.
Where did you add the smiling there?
I added the smiling before I even forgot that I should mention it. Because honestly, it's number one. Yeah. You got to do it.
Inward smile.
Inward smile, but let's reflect a nice gentle smile on the outside so we're very sure it's with us. There's so much research out there on what negative emotions do to the body, to the immune system, to your cellular structure. Well, if we know that too much sadness and depression hurts us, then the logical conclusion is that balanced emotions, kindness, compassion, gentleness might have a healing effect. So we don't want to frown to ourselves. That's not, I just did that once and I have like a huge rush of heat and, feel weird. Yeah. Okay. We don't want to do that. But thank you for asking. Cause for me,
it's a natural thing. And people here in Mangta Shia speaks a lot of this inward smile and smiling to the organs and smiling to the diaphragm too.
Everything. I mean, he will tell you to smile to everything. So when you get into healing love with him, you will be smiling to your breasts. Men will be smiling to their testicles. And he won't even think there's anything strange about it. But what a great idea.
Yeah.
Seriously, when was the last time you smiled to your breasts? I mean, they need that. Yeah. We have these ugly, feelings about parts of our body and then wonder why we get a cancer or some sort of a cyst there. Yeah. The body is just a reflection of the mind. Okay, so we have our lovely little breathing exercise. Everybody can do that. 3 minutes in the morning, 3 minutes at night. You may surprise yourself that it also brings oxygen to the brain. Maybe you think more clearly. This is very nice.
Serotonin?
Yeah, absolutely. Changes the alpha waves, beta endorphins. And Master Chia has been tested on all of this inner smile he speaks of, and that actually is the first step of the healing love practice. Men and women, you start with the inner smile, all the organs. Master Chia has proven that this practice increases certain positive hormones and waves.
Yeah.
So, and we know it as his students because we feel it. Yeah. We feel it every day. If I find myself angry, if I can just stop, smile to my liver, breathe in kindness, exhale anger, shh. That's the healing sound of the liver.
Oh yeah, each organ has a sound. Huh?
Yeah. If I could just do that 300, 400, 500 times. No. Usually it's not that much. It depends on how mad I am. Yeah.
So anger is stuck in the liver.
But
what are the other organs?
So is kindness. Yeah. So we breathe in the kindness, exhale the anger. And I might stop myself from saying something stupid. Something I could never take back. Okay? I really appreciate this practice. And we do the lungs for courage and righteousness, like the strength to follow through with what we know we need to do. We breathe in courage and righteousness. We exhale sadness and depression. We don't want to get rid of all of our sadness. That's not human. We just want to balance it. And this is going to bring us back to sexual energy, by the way. I'll tell you why in a minute. Heart, love and hate. I mean, you have a heart filled with hate, it doesn't end well. Okay? Physically, it's a disaster. Energetically, you will see hate everywhere you go. That's no life. Not a good one. In the kidneys, this is huge. Fear. Oh, really got to take care of the kidneys. And gentleness. So when we start to freak out, we should have thought of that with the ants. We smile to our beautiful blue kidneys, breathe in the gentleness, exhale the fear, and we start to see things differently.
Or change location. Well, we just had an problem at the beginning of the interview we tried to do, and it's just
being eaten alive during the interview, we decided was not sexy at all. Yeah. So, and then the last one, we've got fairness and openness in our spleen and pancreas, but we also carry worry and anxiety, and that's a big one too. Yeah. I mean, how many people do you know, Lilou, that worry about things that have not happened?
Most of us.
Well, it's a waste of time, and I know from spending some time with you, you've really figured some things out. You catch yourself, so does everybody else who is self-aware. Okay, so you spend an hour or two feeling badly, whatever the emotion is. Then you realize, hey, this is going to ruin my day. This is going to ruin my health. And you do something about it. So we like Tao practice because we actually can identify the emotion and do something about it. And I've seen some of your other interviews. There's so many ways to do something about these imbalances of emotion. Yeah. Whatever works for you. But around here, I mean, this is Master Chia's home, Tao Garden. We do a very short way, the inner smile practice. Yeah. Now, for our sexual practice, this is step 1. And this is very important. I'm going to look right at your audience now and tell you, before you play with your sexual energy and draw it into your body, be very sure that in that moment you have emotional balance, because the nature of sexual energy is neutral. What that means is it grows. Its nature is to grow, but it doesn't just grow positive or just grow negative. It grows whatever it comes in contact with. It's sort of like drinking a bunch of coffee. If you drink coffee and you were already sort of freaked out that day, you're probably going to become a bigger version of this panic. Okay? And I've seen it. It's not pretty. Okay? But if you are feeling at peace and the world, seems to be flowing well for you in these moments, then it's very safe to pull in this energy and know you will grow the feeling of balance. Yeah. Okay? Many people have to experiment. They just don't get it. I hate to say it because I love men. I really do. But it's usually the men who say, I'm so not interested in these first couple of steps. I don't want to sit around for 6 months and learn how to smile to my liver. I want to learn how to sustain an erection and please my lady, okay? Well, you just can't. And that's what you were asking me about before. Doesn't this take some time? And the answer is yes. If you're not willing to do the full practice, it's okay. Go find something that works for you. But for here, Tao Garden and the whole Universal Healing Tao system, we really care if the people who are studying are safe and having a healthy experience. So for me, I'll warn you now, if you choose to contact me for some lessons, the first thing I'm going to teach you, male or female, is how to smile to your organs. The second thing I want to teach you is how to circulate your energy. Because if you can't circulate your energy, what are you going to do with it? You have to be able to circulate it in your body. Then, after you have mastered these two practices, then we go to the sexy stuff. And it is very sexy and it's very pleasurable.
And practical.
And practical. Oh. I am living proof. But also, my body is healthy. Yeah. It's amazing to me that, as a crazy girl in her 20s, I was so much less vibrant and energetic and healthy than I am at 50. Yeah. I mean, you hear the stories, you transform. Oh my gosh, we hear these stories, but to actually experience it's amazing. So we have a few thousand crazy people running around the world, and apparently you're one of them, saying, you guys, if you just change your mind, you could change your life and open yourself to possibilities that maybe we didn't learn when we were young. Yeah,
I think that Tao is really from what I've seen here, it's really for people that want to really take it on seriously. I mean, this is mastering our lives. This is really deep and a lot of work. And Mantak is definitely a great teacher. You're a great teacher. He's surrounded by wonderful people, and this is big. This is big stuff for health and for sexuality and all of that. So, congratulations on taking it on, because it's a commitment.
Would you like me to show your folks that are not doing practice just something they can do to gently maybe explore the sexual energy to see if it's stuck? Okay, so you can do this in a few minutes, no problem. And don't worry if you are, not so emotionally stable. All that's going to happen is you will release some stuck energy. You may have a memory or two. Be with that for days. Just leave it alone. Be with it. Process. Talk to your friends and let it roll through you. And then maybe 1 week later, you could try the same technique again and release just a little bit more. Don't overdo. It's very, very simple.
Have a colonic and then I'm just saying this because I just had one here and it's fabulous. Oh my God, my mind is free, my body's free.
Well, okay, but that brings me back to what we said before about if you have stuck fecal matter pressing against your reproductive organs, it's poison. It's literally poison right there. Not to mention unnatural pressure. We're just not meant to carry so much undigested food. Now, another time, I'm very happy to just talk about how to use abdominal massage, to loosen the food in the belly for those times when you can't go for a colonic. But that's
We could do another video.
I was going to say that
too.
I was going to say that is its own conversation, and it is life-changing for sure. So for your guests, your watchers, co-creators, thank you, Ka.
Ka means thank you in Thai.
Well, kapkun is thank you, but because we are ladies, we say kapkun ka. If you were a man,
The nose kapkun ka.
ka. It's right up here. If you were a man, you'd say kapkun cup. Now everybody knows. Okay, so very simple. We've seen the cat. Can we see my hands? Yes. We've seen a cat do this action. So I'll do it to the side like this. Okay. So you've seen a cat do this action to sometimes to sharpen its claws, but usually just to like soften an area and make a bed for itself. So we call this technique cat paws. Okay. So what I invite you to do on your own is to perform this cat pause, and you can I think we can see me doing it on my stomach. Okay. We're going to invite you to perform this cat pause with some pressure on your lower abdomen. And I mean, you should be pressing right up against your pubic bone, okay? When you find an area that might be a little hard or a little painful, then take your fingertips, and as I am here, and just press. Smile and breathe. You'll continue to press, smile, and breathe until this area becomes soft. Then you wait another minute or two, relax, let the energy flow. And that's it. But please remember to smile with this.
You used your elbow when you were on me because she gave me a Nei Tsang and she was like digging it, you know what I'm saying? And then the chi started flowing.
Okay. There is a benefit to finding a Nei Tsang practitioner in your area and letting somebody else do it. But if you brought it up, if you don't mind me saying, you're just not that toxic or stuck, and honestly, as a practitioner, for me to support you, in releasing whatever was in there, I literally had to use my elbows. I had to go,
and I felt good.
Yeah, and know that a good practitioner should not hurt you to the point where you're crying or your body rejects it. It should
just the right amount. Huh?
It should be the good pain.
And you connect to up there, divine love, the force of Mother Earth?
I do the cosmic healing Qigong that Master Chia teaches. I'm actually a teacher of it as well. So when we were together, I don't say it out loud. I just do it. I'm aware of the
Just connect.
Well, yeah. I'm aware of the spiraling galaxy above me, and that this is my visualization for the source. I'm also very aware that we're rooted to the ground. In our way, we don't share our own energy ever. We don't take on your energy ever, because what the universe and nature can do for us is so much cleaner and better and more intelligent than what I think you need. Okay, so
and every healer should keep that in mind, and every person being healed should keep that in mind, that person is doing it that way. That's not them doing it.
I have plenty of students that are professionals because they suffer from burnout. Well, they don't get it. Wherever they trained, they had some crazy idea that their energy was what they were supposed to use to heal. Yeah. Even when you are doing your own self-massage, you smile, relax, free your mind. You're not using yourself up,
And the ego gets caught in it.
It's very strange. Yeah. No, just smile, relax, and focus. Honestly, I like a visualization of melting butter. Holding the space, smiling, breathing. I think of melting butter until the space that I'm pressing on becomes soft. Then when you let go, the chi can flow. And as you experienced when you stood up a little bit fast, okay?
Woo! I had a huge rush.
Yeah.
That was a good one, though.
Okay. Well, because we were working and then we had to suddenly get up and boom, all this energy was free to flow, but not just chi. Electromagnetic energy, so that's our chi, but also blood and cerebral spinal fluid. So it shot up to the head, and then Miss Lilou had to sit down just for a minute. She was happy, but ooh.
I loved it. And I love this interview, and I love interviewing you. Thank you so much for this delicious conversation. I'm sure all the co-creators watching got a lot out of it. I got a lot out of it. Every time I interview, it's a delicious pleasure. Thank you, Sarina. Thank you so much. I wish you amazing trips, travels, and beautiful encounters. Thank you.
And thank you. Always a pleasure, Lilou.
Big kisses to all of you guys from beautiful Tao Garden in Thailand. Love, much love. Bye.